Hello, good morning and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen James, the channel that brings you your team every day on what is Europa League match day. It is a Rangers Thursday night, the Thursday nights that we all love and admire, guys. We've got to say it's amazing, isn't it? We love a Thursday night. Yes, it's out in Istanbul, it's not under the lights at Ibrox, but still it will be a special night against a very, very good Fenerbahçe team coached by one of the, no matter what you think of him, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't like his brand of football. I don't always like his attitude either. But you've got to say one of the best managers, coaches, whatever you want in world football, in the special one, Mr. Jose Mourinho. Fenerbahçe are a team on a mission this season. The board are there, or whatever they're called out there, have committed a large amount of funds to backing their manager to try and wrestle the title away from fierce city rivals Galatasaray. Fenerbahçe have always been the bridesmaid, haven't they? They want to become the bride this year and win trophies. That's the aim, apparently. And, this obviously is one trophy that Mourinho will bang up for winning. And we know that he has an outstanding record in European competition. Barry Ferguson's first match managing even in Europe as well. So that'll be a big experience for him. And the players, the players were shocking, weren't they, the other day? They were just absolutely awful the other day. But look, you've got to say that as bad as the players are, as awful as the players are, they tend to raise their game for Europe. It tends to be that, they are crap in the SPL, and they are, I think, a team that are just done, dusted and finished in the SPL and domestically. But in Europe, they seem to raise their game and be up for anybody. And then I think as the performances against Tottenham, FCSB and against Nice proved in the group league, whatever stage you want to call that. So look, there's hope there. Who knows what the performance will be like tonight in this game in Istanbul. If you're out in Istanbul and you're watching this video, hope you have a cracking time out there. Hope all is good. Just stay safe, guys. Stay safe. I know it's not the best atmosphere times to watch football in terms of the safety side of things. Look, we're going to look ahead, obviously, to the game tonight. We're going to look at the possible team lineup. We're going to look a bit about our opponents, Fenerbahçe. We're going to have kind of a general look around ready for the game tonight to give you all the facts, figures and things you need to be fully skilled up and fully clued up ahead of the performance tonight. Look, this is a Fenerbahçe team that have spent, like I said, a substantial amount of cash on players this summer. This summer just gone, I think in terms of what a rebuild should look like, that's what a rebuild should look like when you've got money. That's the thing, I think you look at the situation with Fenerbahçe, and you look at the kind of the fact they've spent money, and kind of puts a lie to the whole FFP bollocks, doesn't it? I mean, I think we all know that FFP and PSR can be circumvented in the right way. Let's have a little look for this. So Fenerbahçe come into this game tonight in pretty good form of late. Sunday the 2nd of March was their last game. They beat Antalyaspor 3-0 at home. Previous to that, there was a 4-1 group stage cup win for them over Gaziantep. I think that's how you say it. Then on Monday the 24th, in a very controversial game that got Jose Mourinho it was actually a 4-match, which was later halved, touchline ban when he went on a rant about Turkish officials. They drew 0-0 with league leaders Galatasaray. That was in I think it's the Ali Sami Yen Stadium it was called. I'm not sure what it's called now. Previous to that, they drew 2-2 away at Anderlecht. In the Europa League, a result good enough to see them progress to this game tonight. Previous to that, they won 3-1 against Kasimpasa. It was a 3-0 over Anderlecht in the Europa League. 2-0 over Alanyaspor, 5-0 over Ezemspor. There's a lot of spores in Turkey, isn't there? 3-2 over Rizespor. They drew 2-2 with Midtjylland on the last day of the group stage. So their form is pretty good coming out of recent times. In terms of where they are in the Turkish Super League at this moment in time, they sit second, 4 points behind leaders Gala, who have yet to lose a game this season. Fenerbahçe have only lost twice this season. Shows you the strength of the top two in Turkey this year. In terms of what Mourinho will play and how Mourinho will play tonight, he seems to vary his formations very much, depending on the game in terms of how he plays. He does seem to have a flexibility of management. And last time out, when they played against Antalyaspor, they went with a 3-4-1-2 formation. That 3-4-1-2 formation obviously featured a front three of Dusan Tadic, the former Southampton player, En Nesri, who is the Moroccan they spent an absolute shed load of cash on in the summer. He was one of the stars of the World Cup, and veteran striker, still very clinical, still very dangerous, a man I remember playing for Manchester City, Edin Dzeko. They've also got Fred in midfield, ex-Manchester United, and Kostic on the left wing back role, who is on loan from Italian giants Juventus. So there's some pretty good players there. There's Milan Skriniar, who they got from Inter Milan. They've also got Soyuncu, I think his name is pronounced. I can't say it. I'm shit with names, you know that. Who is a Turkish international, boyhood Fenerbahçe fan, who is back with his boyhood club. So that was a 3-4-1-2 last time out in that game against Antalyaspor. In the last Europa League game that they played, again he went in with a 3-4-1-2. Again, a team which changed. Sofian Amrabat, again the former Manchester United player, played in that game. Osaya Samuel also played in that game. Very talented player, reportedly subject of a move this summer to either Nottingham Forest or Crystal Palace in the English Premier League. Shows you how highly rated some of these Fenerbahçe players are. The English Premier League clubs are sniffing around them. Like I said, they've spent an awful lot of money, Fenerbahçe, on players, with the aim of obviously trying to surpass Besiktas and Gala. Istanbul is a massive football city. There are a number of teams in the city, and it's very passionate there, as I'm sure those of you out there have already experienced. The player that I mentioned previously, Youssef En Nesri, he was a guy they broke their transfer record to sign. He was £16 million from Sevilla. He's already scored 26 goals in 39 games this season, so he will certainly be a danger man that Rangers will need to watch. Hence why I think that John Souttar does need to return to the team tonight. He was 16 million. They spent 33 million in total this summer. They brought in Turkey defender and boyhood Fenerbahçe supporter Kaglar Soyuncu, who won the FA Cup under Brendan Rodgers at Leicester City. Diego Carlos was also brought in from Aston Villa. Alan San Maxim was a player they brought in. He is currently out injured, the former Newcastle player. He's on loan from Al Ali, some Saudi Arabian retirement club anyway, out there. They're a decent, they're a good side. They're a very, very good side. And, if there's anyone who knows how to do it in Europe, it is Mourinho, isn't it? He is the doyen of European competition, having won the Champions League and the Europa League. Obviously won the Europa League quite famously with Manchester United, won the Champions League with FC Porto. Also won the Europa League with Porto as well, beating our city neighbours. Always nice. Something that obviously will endear Jose Mourinho to Rangers fans. And also the comment last night that he made in his press conference about why not manage Rangers. Hey, so Jose, we've got a vacancy now for a manager. Do you want to fancy the job? I'm sure that you can get some bit of money there, and you can come and spend some money in Glasgow and have a good time in Glasgow. I'm sure Glasgow is a much nicer city than Istanbul. So yeah, come on over, Jose. Come on over. Interesting nonetheless. But look. Fener will be bang up for this game, and their fans will be passionate, loud, and the atmosphere will be, I think, very, very, very much a cauldron, on par with Ibrox. I think, look, Turkish football fans are passionate fans. They are absolute psychos at times as well. And, not only are you going to be playing against Fenerbahçe, you'll be playing against the atmosphere as well. And, Rangers, I think, the key to this game tonight, obviously, will be to quieten the crowd as soon as is possible, whether that be an early goal or to frustrate, slow the game down and try and stop Fenerbahçe from playing. That also will be a big, big help, I think. Look, like I said to you at the start of the video, you really can't determine what is going to happen tonight, because Rangers are one of those teams this season that are just so gloriously unpredictable. Whilst domestically we look like some sort of third-rate Sunday Park team, with footballers that wouldn't get into your local pub side, in Europe they suddenly look like top-class talents. It is very, very weird for me. Like I said, you watch them at the weekend in that league game, and you just look, they're fucking awful. They're absolutely dreadful. They wouldn't get a game for the dog and duck. Whereas you look at them against Lyon, against FCSB, against Malmo, against Nice, against Tottenham, even to some extent against Manchester United, and you go, Jesus, they're good footballers. They're bloody good footballers. I honestly think, if you look at the side that we've got out side we can put out tonight. And look, a lot depends on the team that Barry Ferguson selects, and I think he'll probably go with tried and tested. The team that I've got up on the screen is my team. I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a minute. I don't think he'll go with that. I think we'll be stuck with Dessers starting up top. And look, I'm sorry. Yes, he has scored goals in the league recently, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to change my mind on him. He is absolute garbage, Cyril Dessers. The guy is absolutely useless. You cannot depend on him. You cannot rely on him. And realistically, I'm going to have if he gets sold in the summer, I'm going to have a video just having a huge celebration of the fact that I've finally rid of that absolute twat from my football club. I think Tavernier will start tonight. Sterling is fit. I'd rather start Sterling. I think Sterling is a better fullback than Tavernier. Tavernier it's just a serial loser. The guy is absolutely fucking useless. He really is, and he's been an absolute. I mean, he takes all the set pieces. His set piece delivery is pathetic. It's awful. It's this whole my ball philosophy that he has, and it's just wrong. His set ball. Go back and watch his set piece delivery. Over the weekend and in other games, it's absolutely dreadful. And I'm sick to death of the fanboys coming at me with this. Look at his personal statistics. Look at it. Yes, they're personal accolades, but he's one of the worst captains in Rangers history. And please don't tell me that he's a Rangers legend, because he's not a fucking legend. Legends are Sandy Jardine, Gary Stevens, Willie Johnston, John Gregg, Terry Butcher, Andy Gorham, Gaza, Ali McCoy. They're Rangers legends. James Tavernier is not a fucking legend. He's just not a legend. If he's a legend, then the bar for legendary status has moved very, very low, and it's somewhere down in the swamp now. Look, in terms of the team tonight, I would go with Liam Kelly in goal. I think his distribution is better from the back. I think the defence looked better when Kelly's back there. I don't think Kelly's a good goalkeeper, I'll be honest with you. I think he's very, very average. I think he's actually quite poor. Mason Munn is probably a better keeper, but you can't throw Mason Munn into this sort of atmosphere. Jack Butland has been really poor of late. He's made some absolute awful, god-awful mistakes. And to be honest with you, you worry with Butland at the moment that, yes, he can pull you off an amazing save, but he can also absolutely throw a huge ricket into it as well. And, the Manchester United incident, the one at the weekend, there's been so many this season. So I'm tempted to go with Kelly just to try and change it up a little bit, give it a bit of a change at the back, stir it up a bit. Like I said, I don't really rate Kelly either, but what else have we got? There is literally nothing. I think goalkeeper will be a position we do need to address this summer, which is worrying. Back four, I think, will be Tavernier, Suter, Proper, and I would go with Ridvan. Now, the reason I would go with Ridvan is twofold. One, because he is Turkish and he'll be bang up for this game tonight, and he'll be bang up for putting one over on Fenerbahçe, being an ex-Besiktas player. And he'll wind their fans up as well, which will be good. And second reason is Yefte has been absolutely dreadful of late. His defending has been shocking. Yes, he's kind of the Brazilian Tavernier, isn't he? He's great going forward. Well, Tavernier's not great going forward at the moment, is he? But, he has been good going forward, whereas Yefte is absolutely awful at defending, which he's lost his man on a number of occasions. He's been to blame for quite a few goals. So I wouldn't play him. I'd go with Ridvan. I think it's, for me, it's one of those smart selections you make when you look at the opposition. You think, right, put him in because he'll be bang up for it being Turkish and ex-Besiktas. They don't like Fenerbahçe, and the fact that he will wind the fuck out of their fans and players. Midfield three, I would go with Dio, Raskin and Hadji. Stop playing Hadji on the wing. Stop playing Hadji on the wing. He's not a winger. He's not fast enough to be a winger. Put him in the middle. Let him create. Let him control the game. Let him control the tempo and the play and the passing and the movement. Let him thread balls through for the strikers and out wide for the wingers. Let him play and control the game. Let him be the playmaker that he is. Don't put him on the sodding wing. He's not a bloody winger. It's almost like putting, Jack Butland up front. It's just silly. Really is silly. So I would go with Hadji in midfield. Attacking three, I would go with Tierney right, Igman in the middle, and Bayrami on the left. Bayrami seems to be coming back into a bit of form and finding a bit of confidence of late under Barry Ferguson. Seems like the change of manager has actually done Nadim Bayrami quite good, so I would put him out there. Plus, again, what other options have we got? Cortez is not in the European squad and he's still bloody injured. Realistically, Barry's not going to play for Finley Curtis. I would love to see Finley Curtis get a chance and to play. But he's not going to happen, is it? So go with Bayrami. Tierney will play right. I'd put Hamza through the middle for two reasons. One is that his record in Europe this season is very, very good. His ability to score goals and create chances in the Europa League is very good. And yes, I know he hasn't been great of late, and people have been on at him and calling him all the names under the sun, which I think is pathetic. But, in terms of his Europa League, he scored 4 goals in 6 games, 1 assist, 5 goal contributions in 6 games in the Europa League. You go with the hot hand in Europe. He is the hot hand in Europe. Cyril Dessers is not the hot hand in Europe. Also, second reason, Igman's hold-up play is a lot better than Dessers' hold-up play. You know that when the ball goes up to Igman, it sticks, whereas with Dessers, it's more likely to bounce off him. Dessers couldn't trap a bag of cement. Hamza can. So for me, you go with Hamza up top. You just give him that gives you an out ball, and I think tonight we're going to be under the cosh. We're going to be, attacked from the right, from the left, from the centre, and from all over by Fener. So, we're going to need to get out and getting the ball up to someone like Hamza who can control it, chest, knee, foot, whatever, hold it, let the players get out, let the midfield come out, let the wingers come out and support, lay it off, turn and go with pace. Dessers hasn't got pace, and stay on side, which Dessers can't do. It just offers me a whole lot more options there. That's what I feel. And look, I know some people don't like it, but I'm not going to change what I am. I'm always going to state my opinion, and my opinion is that I bloody hate Dessers and I bloody hate Tavernier because they're both crap. So at the end of the day, I don't want shit footballers playing for my football team. I want good football players who are good quality players who are going to win games for us. And Tavernier's lost that ability this season, and Dessers is so fucking unreliable, it's untrue. So, that's what I'm going to go with. That's my 4-3-3 tonight. I don't think Barry will do that. I think he'll probably go with a 4-4-2. I think Dessers will start and he'll miss chances and we'll get angry at him. But there we go. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to criticise Barry Ferguson because, as I've said in earlier videos, he's only here for the end of the season. There's literally no point because there's little he can do. There's so few changes he can make. He can't bring in players because he's not going to. It's out of the transfer window. He's not going to have that power anyway. He can't really get rid of players. He can't really sack players off because at the end of the day he hasn't got any options, and also it's not his position to do that because he knows he won't be here next season. And I think with a lot of the players, they're going through the motions. You've just got to hope tonight they jump up, they get up, and they go for it in the way they have in Europe this season. It's our last chance to do well in a competition. I mean, realistically, do I think we'll win the Europa League? No, of course I don't. Of course not. I think even if we get through this tie tonight and we get through the next week against Fenerbahçe and we get through to the next round, I think that Roma or Bilbao will knock us out because they're both very, very good teams. As I've said on numerous occasions, Bilbao have a vast majority of the Spanish national team. Who are the best team in the world right now. So there you go. I mean, look, let's face facts. But look, tonight it's all about being optimistic. It's about playing good football. It's about putting on a performance. Something they owe us. They owe the supporters that. They owe them a performance tonight in Europe. Let's hope they can do that. Thank you for watching. Guys, please let me know your predictions, your team lineups in the comments down below. And if you don't like my comments on James Tavernier and you don't like my comments on Cyril Dessers, let me tell you something. I don't care. I genuinely could not give a flying fuck about it. Thank you for watching. As always, on the way out, please smash that like, subscribe, comment and share. And remember always, we are the people.